Do you know who I am? No, I asked you, do you know who I am? I'm Nick Shell, and I'm the world's leading expert when it comes to zero guard buzz cut with 2-day stubble beard. In today's exciting episode, an exclusive episode. How did you even know the password to even get to this video? Did I invite, who invited you? Okay, well, you're here now and that's all that matters. What we're going to discuss in this video is the zero guard buzz cut. I have to admit that until 4 weeks ago when I started doing the zero guard buzz cut, what I thought was basically a zero guard buzz cut was the same as, you know, shaving cream, razor, Bic, all that stuff. And it's definitely not. It's definitely different. So if you're watching this video because you're thinking, man, I want to do a buzz cut all over, maybe a 1 or a 2, surely not a 0, right? Because that's where I was a month ago. I was thinking, there's no need to do a 0. That's just overkill. And even when I first did it, I felt that way. Do I really need this? I've still got too much of a hairline to even, it's not like I have to go with a 0. But the most surprising thing to me is that there actually was stubble there. And again, with this being 2-day stubble on my face, in my opinion, what I feel that I'm seeing in this selfie cam is that and I just did this today, just like a couple hours ago, zero guard buzz cut seems to perfectly match this stubble, which that in itself is proof that a zero guard is not as bald as you might think it is. Yes, it's pretty bald, but it's not as bald. It's not truly a cue ball kind of bald, because it's the equivalent of a guy like me not shaving for 2 days. Now keep in mind, a guy like me means I'm a grown man who's not mainly of Asian descent. So if you're a 30-year-old Asian man or you're a 16-year-old white boy, either way, your beard's not gonna be like this. But I've got the kind of beard where if I don't shave for a day, I've already got noticeable stubble. This is 48 days of it. 48 days, whoa. 48 days stubble, that's not stubble anymore, is it? All right, making this video just to point out, in case, see, because my preconceived idea of a zero guard buzz cut meant zero anything, no stubble. But I just did this and there's undeniably stubble on there. And I always like to kind of do this test. You know, if you would turn sideways, now granted, this hair is coarse, is more coarse, it's darker, so therefore, but either way, if one's going to be a little bit darker than the other, I'd want it to be my face and not my head hair. So there you go. If you're on the fence about possibly going to a zero guard buzz cut, I'd still say do it maybe a number 1 first if you haven't gone that short in a while. But ultimately, if you do a zero guard, give it a week, it's going to be a number 1. So it's not that much of a gamble. And especially if you've already got a little bit of a stubble there on your face, you might find, like me, this is actually the best thing. I mean, if I'm gonna buzz my hair, 0, I've just really grown into it. I really love it. So if you've never tried 0, I highly recommend it, especially if you can grow stubble. And the whole point of this video is to remind you and provide physical evidence and proof that 0 probably isn't quite as short and shiny as you think it is. There's still that gruffness in there, especially if you have dark hair like I do. You're gonna see that stubble, and that in itself, it's got a little bit of that edge that I like. Zero guard buzz cut is not the same as getting shaving cream and shaving it off. There's still going to be that stubble, of course, like me, even 4 weeks in. You're probably gonna wanna get out in the sun a little bit more and get the skin tone to match a little bit better the rest of your body. I'm Nick Shell. There are other Nick Shells in the world, but I'm the only one that's a specialist, a world-renowned expert on zero guard buzz cuts with stubble. Expert.